The Old Watch and the Elderly Watchmaker, a lesson on time and the value of life. I used to be a busy person, always racing against time, until one day I stepped into an old watch repair shop on a quiet street corner and met him. An old man with silver hair wearing a tiny magnifying glass was carefully fixing a pocket watch so worn out it looked like it could never work again. He didn't look up, just said, "Do you know why people still keep broken watches?" I shook my head. He smiled gently and said, "Because sometimes what has stopped ticking still holds the most precious moments." Then he began to tell me a story. It was the story of a man who was once extremely wealthy. He had it all: money, fame, and power. Yet he always felt something was missing. He collected expensive, rare watches as if trying to control time through material things. Until one day he had an accident and woke up in a small countryside hospital. An elderly doctor took care of him, slow, unhurried, always on time, but never wore a watch. The man was puzzled and asked, "Why don't you wear a watch? How do you know when it's time to see your patients?" The doctor pointed to the window where sunlight streamed through the trees and said, "Time doesn't live in the ticking of a second hand. It's in the rhythm of your breath, the song of the birds, the morning light. Those who live in sync with life don't need to count the hours." When his health recovered, the man didn't rush back to the city. He stayed in the village for a few more weeks. Each day he learned to slow down, sipping tea, having conversations, watching the sunset. And in one of those quiet moments, he found the old watch his father had left him. It had stopped working long ago, but when he opened it, inside was an old photograph of his family. That's when he realized some things stop ticking in order to preserve what matters most: the memories, the people we love, and our truest selves. I left the watch repair shop that day with more than just a mended timepiece. I carried a story, and something inside me had quietly changed. The next day I came back, not to get anything fixed, just to sit and watch him work. He was the same, slow, precise, never in a rush. Every hand he placed back into the watch felt like he was setting time back into rhythm. I asked, "How long have you been fixing watches?" The old man smiled without looking up. "Almost a lifetime, my boy. But what I really fix isn't just watches." I was surprised. "Then what is it?" He looked at me, pausing for the first time. "Memories, regrets, the things people think they've lost, but really they're just stuck somewhere in the flow of time." I didn't understand at first, until he showed me another pocket watch. Inside there was a faint engraving: "Meet Dad, 10:45 a.m., March 12th. This belonged to a man who brought it in, he said. The watch had stopped ticking at the exact moment he left home that day, and his father never came back. The old man told me the man kept that watch for over 40 years, never fixed it. He'd open it once a year, exactly at 10:45 a.m. on March 12th, just to remember. And then one day he came back here and asked me to fix it. I asked, why? He replied, because he had finally forgiven, not his father, but himself. We often think time takes everything from us: youth, dreams, loved ones, memories. But in truth, time doesn't steal. It only moves forward. It's us. We're the ones who leave things behind. We choose to forget or to remember, to hold on or to let go, to forgive or to carry the weight. And sometimes an old watch, a story, an elderly watchmaker is the gentlest reminder. Live fully in every tick of the clock, because each beat of time is a part of life. It can't be reclaimed, but it can always be renewed. A few weeks later, I left the village. Before I did, he handed me an old watch, cleaned, polished, its hands moving smoothly. For you, he said, not to tell time, but to remind you how precious it is. I nodded, saying nothing. But from that day on, whenever I hear the ticking near my ear, I no longer feel like I'm being chased by time. I feel like I'm walking with it. If you're listening to this story, chances are you're caught in the rush of life too. Maybe you've forgotten the last time you sat still, doing nothing, just to hear the quiet passing of time. If that's the case, take a moment, breathe deeply, and remember, living long isn't the same as living deeply. The very first thing that old man said to me is still the thing I remember most, because sometimes a whole life only needs a few truly meaningful moments, and that is enough.